Magandang araw! Sama-sama tayong matuto sa Teacher Self Learning Resource Channel. Mathematics 4, Quarter 1, Week 2. The content: exploring the properties of triangles, classifying triangles by sides and by angles, discovering the properties of quadrilaterals, classifying quadrilaterals. For the review, look around you or inside our classroom and identify things or objects with the shape of a triangle. Can you name the triangular structures given below? We see triangles around us and all over the world. Can you think of some triangular structures that you can find in the Philippines? Observe the triangle and answer the following questions. How many points or vertices are there in the triangle? What are those points? You're right, 3 points, namely points A, B, and C. What are the sides that connect the points? Exactly. These are sides AB, BC, and AC. The prefix tri in triangle means 3. A triangle is a 3-sided polygon. A polygon is a closed plane figure whose sides are segments. A vertex is a corner point. It is the intersection point of two sides of a polygon. It is a point where two sides meet. The symbol is read as triangle. Equilateral triangle means all sides of equal length. Isosceles triangle with two sides of equal length. The congruent or equal sides are called legs. The third side is called the base. The angles opposite the legs are called base angles. The angle opposite the base is called the vertex angle. Scalene triangle, all sides of different lengths. For the subtopic 1, exploring the properties of triangles. The prefix tri in triangle means 3. A triangle is a 3-sided figure with 3 vertices, 3 sides, and 3 angles. Triangles are named using its vertices, plural for vertex, in a clockwise or counterclockwise order. In naming triangles, you may start from any vertex. A vertex is a corner point. It is the intersection point of two sides of a polygon. It is a point where two sides meet. Example, the vertices of the triangle are points X, Y, and Z. It can be named as triangle XYZ, or triangle YZX, or triangle ZXY, or triangle XZY, or triangle ZYX, or triangle YXZ. The symbol is read as triangle. Look at the images of triangles below. We have equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. How would you classify each triangle based on the length of its sides. Equilateral triangle. It is a triangle where all sides are of equal length. This means that side AB is equal to side BC is equal to side CA. Isosceles triangle. This is a triangle with two sides of equal length. This means that the two equal sides of the given triangle are side DO and side CO. The congruent or equal are called legs. These are sides DO and CO. The third side is called the base. Side DC is the base. The angles opposite the legs are called base angles. The base angles are angles D and C. The angle opposite the base is called the vertex angle. The vertex angle is O. Scalene triangle. This triangle has all sides of different lengths. This means that sides AB is not equal to BC and is not equal to CA. Classify each triangle using the side length you've learned. Write down the name that describes each triangle, best considering its sides. For letter A, what kind of triangle is shown? You're right. It is equilateral. The second one is isosceles. And the third one is scalene. What must be the length of the third side? Very good. It is 9. And the triangle is isosceles. What kind of triangle is shown? You're right, it is an equilateral triangle. What must be the length of segment AC and segment BC? You're right, the correct answer is 6 centimeters. For the lesson activity, activity number 1, classifying triangles according to sides. Objectives: by the end of the lesson, the students are able to draw and state the properties of triangles and quadrilaterals, and classify triangles and quadrilaterals according to sides and angles. Materials needed: pen. Identify each triangle based on sides, equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. Here are the correct answers. For your formative assessment, distribute a worksheet with triangle images. Learners should classify and label them according to their sides. 1 is an equilateral triangle isosceles. 2 is an isosceles triangle equilateral. 3. Draw an object, scene, view, or structure showing the use of triangles. You may color your drawing. For day 2, name the sides of the triangle below. What is the classification of this triangle based on its side? You're right. The sides are AB, BC, and CA. What is the classification of this triangle based on its side? The triangle is scalene. It has 3 different sides. This time, observe carefully the angles in the triangle. How many angles are there? What are those angles? Do you think the angles have the same measure or different measure? An acute triangle has all angles less than 90 degrees. An obtuse triangle has one angle greater than 90 degrees. A right triangle has one angle that is exactly 90 degrees. The longest side is called the hypotenuse. It is opposite the right angle. The two shorter sides are called legs. The angles opposite the legs are acute angles. An equiangular triangle has three equal angles. Let's discuss subtopic 2, kinds of triangles according to angles. Study each angle. First, right, with a right angle. Next is obtuse, with an obtuse angle. And acute. All angles are acute. Today, we will focus on the kinds of triangles according to angles. These are the kinds of triangles according to angles. We have acute triangle, obtuse triangle, and right triangle. Right triangle. This is a triangle with a right angle. In a right triangle, take note of the following. The longest side is called the hypotenuse. It is opposite the right angle. The hypotenuse is side AC. The two shorter sides are called legs. The legs are sides AB and BC. The angles opposite the legs are acute angles. Acute triangle. This is a triangle with all three interior angles, measuring less than 90 degrees. The acute angles in triangle ABC are angles A, B, and C. Obtuse triangle. This is a triangle with an obtuse angle. The obtuse angle in triangle ABC is angle B. For the work example, classify each triangle using the angle classifications that you've learned. Write down the name that describes each triangle, best considering the angles. Here are letter A, B, and C. Letter D, the given triangle is equilateral. Classify it according to angles. What kind of triangle is shown? What must be the measure of angle P, blank of angle R? Note the sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Here are the correct answers. For activity number 2, classifying triangles according to angles. Draw and state the properties of triangles and quadrilaterals and classify triangles and quadrilaterals according to sides and angles. Classify the triangles. Write acute, obtuse, or right beside each triangle. Here are the correct answers. For a formative assessment, can a right triangle have an obtuse angle? No, a right triangle cannot have an obtuse angle. A triangle can only have one angle that is 90 degrees or more, and a right angle is already 90 degrees. Can an obtuse triangle have two obtuse angles? No, an obtuse triangle can only have one obtuse angle. The sum of all angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, and two obtuse angles would exceed that. For day 3. What is a triangle? How many sides and angles does a triangle have? A triangle is a three-sided figure. Can you name and describe different types of triangles based on their side, lengths, and angles? Types of triangles according to sides. We have isosceles, scalene, and equilateral. Types of triangles according to angles. We have right, acute, and obtuse. Imagine you have a triangle with one angle measuring 90 degrees. What is this type of triangle called? You're right, it is a right triangle. Find, observe, and share. Look around. Observe the different objects you see. Find objects that have 4 sides. Share your findings with the class. For today, you will learn about quadrilaterals and their characteristics. A quadrilateral is a 4-sided figure with broad, several types, and unique properties. Today, we will focus our discussion on the following: parallelogram, rectangle, and square. For the unlocking content vocabulary, quadrilateral is a 4-sided figure. Parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel sides. Rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Square is a rectangle with equal sides. For subtopic 3, quadrilaterals, parallelograms, rectangle, and square. What do you notice about the pictures below? A quadrilateral is a 4-sided polygon. It has 4 vertices and 4 angles. It can be named using its vertices in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction, starting from any vertex. Angle H and angle A are opposite angles. HM and TA are opposite sides. Angle T and angle M are opposite angles. MA and HT are opposite sides. A diagonal is a segment joining 2 opposite vertices of a polygon. It divides a quadrilateral into 2 triangles. We learned that the sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Each triangle formed by the diagonal has a total angle measurement of 180 degrees. Therefore, the sum of all the angles in a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Under the quadrilateral, we have general quadrilateral, parallelogram, and trapezoid. Under parallelogram, we have rectangle, and under rectangle, we have square and rhombus. Focus on the parallelogram. Name the vertices, sides, and angles. Identify the 2 pairs of opposite sides and the 2 pairs of opposite angles. Describe the parallelogram. It has 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel to each other. Segment BA is parallel to segment CD, and segment BC is parallel to segment AD. B, each pair of opposite sides are equal. BA is equal to CD, and BC is equal to AD. Each pair of opposite angles are equal. Angle A is equal to angle C, and angle B is equal to angle D. Note the marks on the sides of the parallelogram. The opposite sides have the same arrowhead marks, which means that they are parallel. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pairs of parallel sides. This time, focus on the rectangle below. Name the vertices, sides, and angles. For the vertex, we have M, N, Q, and P. Sides, MN, NP, QP, and MQ. For the angles, we have M, N, Q, and P. Identify the two pairs of opposite sides and the two pairs of opposite angles. For the opposite sides, we have MN and QP as to MQ and NP. For the opposite angles, we have angles Q and N, and angles M and P. Describe the rectangle. Are both pairs of opposite sides parallel? Yes. Are both pairs of opposite sides equal? Yes. Are both pairs of opposite angles equal? Yes. Is a rectangle a parallelogram? Yes. How would you classify the angles of a rectangle? It is a right angle. A rectangle is a parallelogram with four right angles. Now, look at the square. Name the vertices, sides, and angles. For the vertex, we have R, S, T, and V. Sides, RS, ST, TV, and RV. And for the angles, we have R, S, T, and V. Identify the two pairs of opposite sides and the two pairs of opposite angles. For the opposite sides, we have RS and VT, RV and ST. Opposite angles, angles R and T, S and V. Are both pairs of opposite sides parallel? Yes. Is a square a parallelogram? Yes. How would you classify the angles of a square? It is a right angle. Is a square a rectangle? Yes. What can you say about the sides of a square? All are equal. A square is a rectangle with equal sides. For the worked example, identify and describe the type of quadrilateral illustrated by each object. We have letter A, B, and C. You're right, letter A, square, parallelogram, rectangle with all sides equal. Rectangle, a parallelogram with four right angles. Opposite sides are equal. And for letter C, parallelogram with two pairs of parallel sides. For activity number 3, parallelograms, rectangles, and square. By the end of the lesson, the students are able to draw and state the properties of triangles and quadrilaterals, and classify triangles and quadrilaterals according to sides and angles. Materials needed: we have pen. Instructions. Classify the quadrilateral. Write the name in the blank provided. For letter B, check the appropriate column. For the first column, we have properties. It is a quadrilateral, has two pairs of parallel sides. Number 3, all angles are right. Opposite sides are equal. All sides are equal. Here are the correct answers. Illustrate the following: parallelogram, rectangle, and square. For day 4. What is a quadrilateral? How does it differ from a triangle? In terms of the number of sides and angles. Quadrilateral is a four-sided figure. It has 4 angles, while a triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. Review what was learned in the previous lesson. How will you differentiate parallelogram, square, and rectangle? Can you draw it on the board? Parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel sides. Rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Square is a rectangle with equal sides. Can you identify a quadrilateral with all sides of equal length and all angles are 90 degrees? What is this type of quadrilateral called? You're right, it is a square. Today, we will continue with the rest of the kinds of quadrilaterals. Looking at the diagram, which ones have we not discussed yet? They are general quadrilateral, rhombus, and trapezoid. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. Rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. General quadrilateral has no parallel sides. For subtopic 4, quadrilateral, rhombus, and trapezoid. What can you say about each picture? What kind of quadrilaterals do they represent? For the first one, we have trapezoid. Next is rhombus, and the third one is general quadrilateral. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. The trapezoid is also called trapezium. Rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. Is a square a rhombus? A square is a rhombus because it has 4 equal sides. General quadrilateral has no parallel sides. One kind of general quadrilateral is the kite. You will learn more about the properties of a kite in the future. Can you identify the type of this quadrilateral? You're right, it is a trapezoid. How do you know this is a trapezoid? It has only 1 pair of parallel sides. How would you describe the trapezoid? It is an isosceles trapezoid. Can you identify the type of this quadrilateral? You're right, it is rhombus. How do you know this is a rhombus? It is a parallelogram with equal sides. How would you describe the rhombus? Both pairs of opposite angles are equal. Activity number 4. Rhombus and trapezoid. Objectives: draw and state the properties of triangles and quadrilaterals. Classify triangles and quadrilaterals according to sides and angles. Instructions: check the appropriate column. For the properties, we have with 2 pairs of parallel sides, with exactly 1 pair of parallel sides, with equal sides, a parallelogram. Both pairs of opposite sides are equal. B. Classify each quadrilateral. Here are the correct answers. For formative assessment, provide a worksheet with quadrilateral images. Learners should classify and label them. Illustrate the following: rhombus, right trapezoid, and isosceles trapezoid. For day 5, how many sides does a triangle have? 3. If a triangle has one angle that measures 90 degrees, what type of triangle is it called? Right triangle. Can a triangle have 2 sides of the same length? What is this type of triangle called? Yes, isosceles triangle. Quadrilaterals. What is a quadrilateral? Quadrilateral is a 4-sided polygon. If a quadrilateral has all sides of equal length, what do we call it? Rhombus. Draw a square and label its sides and angles. Here is a sample. For today, you are going to apply all that you have learned through the arts. This will be your performance task. For subtopic 5, performance task. Look at the chart. Give actual objects or structures that represent each item. For the type, we have parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus, and trapezoid. Here are the possible answers. For parallelogram, we have roof, rectangle, table, square, handkerchief, rhombus, diamond suit in playing cards. For trapezoid, wings of airplane. For activity number 5, constructing structures using triangles and quadrilaterals. Objectives: draw and state the properties of triangles and quadrilaterals, and classify triangles and quadrilaterals according to sides and angles. Materials needed: popsicle sticks or any similar material, paste or glue. Instructions for your performance task: you are going to create a structure like the ones shown below. Imagine that all of you are architects or engineers. You're going to construct a structure with triangles and quadrilaterals using popsicle sticks or the like. Be creative in showing the different triangles and quadrilaterals that you have learned. Please be guided by the rubrics given below.